You all know how much we love ProCare. We talk about them all the time, pretty much in every episode we record.
Pretty much.
So we are really, really excited to announce.
They're sponsoring the podcast.
Yay!
Oh my goodness. I'm so excited.
Yes. And we truly believe in their product because we take them every single day. I take their 1-a-day capsule.
Yes. And I take their 1-a-day chewable. It's freaking delicious.
And not only do they have multivitamins, but they have calcium chews.
Yeah.
Delicious calcium chews. The salted caramel is to die for.
Oh, and the cinnamon roll, guys, tastes like a cinnamon roll. Oh my God.
They also have dinner mint, but our favorite
is the dark chocolate for 2 reasons. One, you can have it at nighttime for a treat or make a s'more out of it. We've done it. Freaking bomb.
How cool is that? So go now to procarenow.com and use code OSLP for 10% off.
Alrighty, now go now. What are you waiting for?
Go get your vitamins.
Yeah. You ready?
Yeah. Don't forget it's presents.
Normally you say that, so I don't have to. That one's on you.
That's a good point.
Okay.
Is it bad that I have to pee?
You want to run up there?
No.
Well, honey, it's like an hour. You
It's
really
fine.
don't want to
I
pee.
can hold it.
It's not, I know that you can, but
It's fine.
Okay. I'll count us. Everyone good?
I think we're good.
Okay.
Welcome back, OSLP family.
Welcome, welcome.
You are listening to our Sleeve Life podcast, and this is Kelly.
This is Mel.
And we are doing our Bariatric Diaries with Miss Hailey in the studio.
Yeah. We love it when you can have it in the studio.
Yeah.
So much better.
It's so much better. I love doing in person.
Yes.
So we are going to talk about your journey to 3 months.
Yeah, because we got to hang out with you like
Before.
2 days before.
It was the day before.
Oh, the day before
Yeah.
your surgery. So we have so much to cover.
I know. I'm really, really, really excited to hear.
Yeah. You guys better buckle up because it's a lot.
I'm down.
It's a bumpy ride.
I'm down. All right, so you left us after the recording.
Went to
What
surgery.
happened? How did it go?
So we went home, made sure everything was packed and the house was cleaned, and went to bed. And the next morning, I was sleeved. Or not sleeved. I wasn't sleeved. I was, what was I? Bypassed. I don't remember what it's
Yeah, we
called.
say bypass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it was pretty intense. I had a breakdown in the elevator going up, like almost ran out of the hospital, like got really anxious.
Okay.
It broke down 3 times before
Before the actual surgery? Yeah. Okay.
So it was pretty.
How did you work through that?
My awesome husband.
Yeah.
Talked you down.
Yeah, he talked me down because he's never really seen me like that. Like literally, I'm like, all right, let's do this. Let's get it. And I'm like, I don't think I can. I don't think we should. Like, I should just go home. It's fine. And I'll be happy fat. I promise. Like, I'll do better. And he's like, let's do. You're fine.
You're here.
Yeah,
You're
like,
here. Let's do
You've come this far. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you're right. So,
And you did all that work.
Yeah.
Like yours is a year process.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that James was able to help you and talk you down.
Yeah.
But know that it's not uncommon for
that's
people
normal.
to do that. Like completely common. I was weird and I was like, yeah, put me under. Let's do this. Like, I got this. I was laughing and like just hanging out. But there's been several people that we've talked to where it's like they cancel their surgery because they just can't, like the thought of going through with it is very, very difficult.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I
So-
can totally understand why. So
Yeah.
What was going through your brain?
I just wasn't ready. I mean, I was ready, but I wasn't ready because I just knew I'd be a different person. And your brain does weird things anyways during the whole thing. And like, there was just like, you're never going to be able to eat again. Like, you're never going to be able to go on dates again. You're never going to be able to do barbecues again. Like, you're going to be that weirdo that like has like a little bit of food and you're like, no, I'm good. Like, drinking, like have 2 cups in your hands all the time.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
so
Double fist in that water.
yeah.
You always, look at us. Like,
Yeah.
tea, water.
Yep.
I've got mine. You've got your protein,
Yep.
your water.
Yep.
Mel's got her water on the floor
Yep.
and her tea.
Yep.
It's just, it's scary to start something and you don't know how you're going to be after.
Yeah.
Because we all react so different.
Yeah.
Like you just don't know what your body's going to be like. So what was your time? Like how long were you under or was it a while or?
How long was I think I was a couple hours. James took care of everything. When I woke up, I was in a lot of pain, I guess. And I was pretty much sedated for like 24 hours.
Yes.
Nice.
That's the best way to
Kelley
do
loves
it.
that.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
I love being just knocked out
Yeah.
and you just get to rest because your body, that's the number one thing that I don't think people do enough is the resting. And I'm guilty of it.
Yep.
I definitely don't rest enough. And especially after surgery, your body has to get that rest because you just went through a major change.
It's a major surgery. And like when I was in pain, I told them, I'm like, I'm in pain because I knew that I needed to be, I wouldn't have rested if I wasn't sedated.
Right.
Like I just knew that I would be like, let's go walk. And like, I mean, I did a lot of walking, but I know that I needed to rest. So,
and I mean, obviously ours was a little bit different. And I have a high pain tolerance. Mel does not. Do you have a high pain tolerance?
I would say, but like pain that I can't control, like
you don't
hate it.
Right?
Yeah.
Like that's the deal. It's the control part. Because like when I'm in pain, like just like bruises or just being sore from like a workout, I can handle that shit all day long.
Yeah. Tattoos, like all that.
Yeah. But when it's like surgery pain, you're like,
yeah. I just didn't want to like deal with it at all. So because I'm a weenie when it comes to pain like that. Like I just can't.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
So you were sedated for 24 hours. So did you, because you had to stay overnight.
Yeah. So I stayed overnight and every chance that they're like, do you need a pain pill? I'm like, yes, 100%. I need one.
Yeah. Take advantage. They're going to give it to you.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, the nurse would like make comments like, oh, you're really sleepy. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot to mention I'm really sensitive to like oxy and stuff. So, and my husband's like, well, she's naturally a Snorlax too. So she's good. Like she's just going to sleep. So
yeah. Well, and that's, I mean, like I said, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be sleepy. You're not supposed to be
up and running around. Yeah.
I mean, like.
That's for the 5th day. The 5th day is for the gods.
Yeah. So it took you about 5 days?
So the 5th day, when I got home, the 5th day was like, my doctor warned me. She said that that's the God complex day, that most people on the 5th day, they like think they can do shit. I was like on the couch trying to like standing on my couch trying to water one of my plants, and James was like, get the fuck down off the couch, what are you doing? And I'm like, I just need to water it, like it's fine. He's like, sit down.
Yeah.
So
you had surgery, girlfriend.
Yes.
How did you handle the first drink of water?
It's so weird because like after surgery I could drink water and do all those things. It was like 2 weeks after where I was like, I can't handle water. Like to this day, like we're 3 months in and I still have to only drink flavored water.
Okay.
So regular water.
Weird. Regular water feels like a ton of bricks hitting my stomach.
But if it's flavored, then you're good.
I'm fine.
Okay. So I wonder if that kind of goes with the whole taste buds changing.
Yeah.
Because plain water does have a flavor to it.
Well, I love water. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I love water, but I'm also a chugger. Like but I'm now like I mean, I sip, but before I was definitely like, oh, I haven't drank water. I'm going to drink a whole bottle in one sitting.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
So is it like ice cold water or?
No. I mean, and it's weird too because I can have warm water, like warm plain water, but I just can't have room temperature or cold water.
Tea, warm, hot liquids. I'm telling you, it's the best way to get your liquids in because it doesn't, like for me, it felt like it got stuck, the cold water. Like obviously now I can handle it, but I still prefer hot over cold.
Yeah. Either or.
Yeah. Okay. So water, not a deal. How was the walking? Like, did you walk at all?
I walked a lot.
Hospital? Okay.
In the hospital, I walked a lot because I knew that I just knew that I needed to walk.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Did you have the gas pains?
Assignments you have to do.
I made sure, I don't think I had a lot of gas. I think that I just knew that I needed to do it so I could avoid it. So
there you go.
Yeah.
So you just got on top of it.
Yeah. I was like, I'm not doing this.
Preventative care.
Yes. So important.
Love it.
So important. So when you got home, like how was home life like that first week?
So the first week, James's mom came down and helped, and James had the week off also. So it was nice. Like I was able to not, my friends put together a meal train for the whole month for us. So we had like people brought dinner over and like it was great. James didn't have to cook dinner. He could just focus like on me and make sure I'm good. And then he went back to work the second week and his mom stayed with me the second week and she made sure that I like went for walks every day and like made sure I got my water intake and everything. And so
super supportive.
Yeah.
I love that
sounds
shit.
Like you have a great support system.
Yeah. And people like stop by and like Jamie, one of my best friends, the day of surgery or the night of the surgery, she came over and helped me clean and made sure I was good. And like,
Aw.
Nice.
they like stopped by like Amory and Sean. They like sent over 2 meals, like got breakfast for James, like made
Aw.
sure my family was taken care of. So
Good
Very
peeps.
sweet. Yeah, because I mean, the last thing you need to be worrying about is cooking food when you can't even eat it.
right.
Like,
And they did it. They started it when I started my liquid diet, so I didn't have to like smell
Oh.
food or anything. Like
Nice.
they just did it. Our next door neighbors too, they really made sure that I was okay. And like when James's mom went home, they made sure I was okay, came over and like walked
Aw.
with me and like all that. So I made sure like if Delana was late for school, they would take him. There was one appointment that I still couldn't drive, and my neighbors took me to my appointment. So
Aw.
Nice. So how long could you not drive for?
2.5 weeks.
2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I was driving like the week after.
I think it's
I
just how
don't
the
ever remember.
appointments landed for me. So I
Okay.
think that's how it was. I was in my 2.5 week but she cleared me to work or drive that day. So I was
Oh,
like, okay,
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
She's like, finally.
Yeah.
I'm
Like, I
home.
get to get out of the house.
Yeah.
But my doctor is like the strictest in Oregon.
It
Like,
seems like it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
because I didn't
very
have any
intense.
restriction on my driving.
Yeah, I had lots of restrictions with everything. So
Can you?
What other restrictions?
Yeah.
we had to do. I follow people, and it's crazy to see like how different it is. Like I had to be on a liquid diet for another 2 weeks after, which seems kind of normal.
That's normal.
Mhm.
But there's other places where it's like you can go to pureed foods. Like I wasn't allowed to have pureed foods. Like it was liquid, super soft foods, and then soft foods, and then regular food.
Okay.
So I didn't have regular food for like almost 2 months.
Oh, wow.
See, that sounds like more like with Dr. Patterson because I was doing the 2 week of liquid
Mhm.
and then it was 2 weeks of soft, then puree, and then solids.
Mhm.
Yeah, we didn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to have pureed at all.
What's up with that?
I don't know. Like we're not allowed to have smoothies or anything
Wow.
like that.
I would
But
be interested to ask
Protein
why.
shakes are kind of like puree a little bit.
I
They're
mean,
thick.
depending on the thickness of
Right?
it. That's what she said. But it like because devotions are more of a thicker
Yeah, devotion
base.
is like super thick.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's so I would be interested to see what the concept between that is. I
Yeah.
know my surgeon was pretty lax with that. So I did the 2 weeks of liquid after, and then she kind of did pureed soft foods all in one. She
Yeah.
was like, if you feel like you can handle it, try it. If you can't, then just that you need to be on
Yeah.
purees. But I think it was like a month
Yeah.
from liquids to real food, but I
Yeah.
didn't like jump in and have a steak. Like,
Yeah.
I was very cautious of like, okay, this is more of a soft texture. I can eat this
Yeah.
type of thing.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. Like the very soft food. I think it's anything that you can mash with a fork was that soft food.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the super soft food was like cottage cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
A lot of people, I love cottage cheese in theory.
Yeah.
And then I eat it and I'm like, oh yeah, this is why I don't eat it.
Every
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
That's like the same thing. I was like, no, this should be fine.
Yeah.
And because I liked it as a kid.
Yeah.
And I was like, this should be okay. And no. I even tried it with the peaches. I tried it with mangoes, like the whole fruit thing. No.
Mhm.
Mm-mm. No.
Yeah.
Well, I like cottage cheese, but now I'm like, I don't know if I can have soups or anything like that right now.
Right? Soups are weird.
We hate soups.
Yeah, soups are fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like, is it a solid? Is it a liquid? What the fuck are you?
Well, I just had so much of it, like over a month of like
Mm.
broth. Like I'm just like,
Yeah.
nope.
Well, and it's weird because you can't eat and drink at the same time.
Yeah.
Yet soup is on a lot of lists, and it's
Right?
both. It's
Yeah.
both. So how do you? Yeah.
I just didn't even fuck with it.
I like cream based soups.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So I'm like a clam chowder,
Mhm.
all of that.
Potato soup.
Yep.
Potato soup.
But
yeah.
those are the ones that they don't even want us to have because it has like high content of like fat and carbs and stuff.
Mhm.
So like I just steer away from them. And I did a little bit of the unflavored protein powders, but I did not know how to mix them back then. So
Mhm.
everything was like clumpy and gross and I would
Mhm.
just swallow it and just deal with it. And I'm like, yeah,
Mhm.
I guess I just eat this now.
Yeah,
Ugh.
this is
Like,
my
I
life
just-
now.
I just did this. Yeah. Well, because like all the preparation to do that and then to be annoyed with it, I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to eat this shit.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do it. Even though,
Yeah.
and because I've learned through the process, like, sometimes I'll just eat stuff I don't like just so I can
Mhm.
get the protein.
Yeah.
I refuse.
So,
I refuse to eat things I don't like. If it doesn't taste good, I will find something that does taste good.
Right.
I do
'Cause
that
I-
now.
Yeah.
I do
'cause,
that now.
You
Back
only
in the day, I
take 4 or
didn't.
5 bites, but you also didn't have the resources that we do now.
Not at all.
So back then you're like, oh, this is just what I do.
Yep.
Now you're like, no, if I don't like it and I'm only eating 5 bites of it, why am I eating it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like,
the
I want to
planning.
enjoy food still.
Yeah, the planning's a lot different because now I can like go onto YouTube, I can go onto TikTok and Instagram and look up ideas and Pinterest. And back then that wasn't there. So I'm just like, I guess this is what I do now. I'm eating shitty shit, but I need my protein because I would feel like that feeling, I think in the beginning, like that whole like, fogginess was like really prominent when you didn't have your protein.
Yeah.
Like you noticed right away.
Do you feel like that?
I don't know. The way that I feel now is, I don't know. Like, to be honest, like I feel so numb that I'm just like, I don't even know what feelings are. And I think it's because we don't really talk about it, but we should, is that you store hormones in your fat.
You do.
And like, that's a lot of trauma in those fat cells that I had. So like, they're all coming up and like, I think I'm just numb.
Every day you're getting smacked in the face with another
like
thing.
a thing. Yeah. And like, so maybe I'm not getting enough protein. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But it's just hard to get everything in. And it's overwhelming because it's like, well, you need to get 64 plus, protein and all this water. And it's like, my stomach's 2 ounces. Like, what do you mean? Like, how do you do that? And so it's hard.
It takes a long time to get that on like a schedule and a good balance. Like I don't think I got used to that till almost 9 months. Like, it took a fucking while.
I think at least 6 months for me.
So it was like,
and even then I was still trying to, I mean, it's still a daily occurrence that I am either lacking in water or protein.
Yeah.
Like even now over 2 years out.
Yeah.
And I'm still like, are you tracking it? Or are you just...
I started tracking it and then I just got super discouraged. So I'm just like freeballing it right now.
Okay.
Why'd you get discouraged? What happened?
Just because I was like, God, I'm not hitting this. And I'm not, like I'm the type of person that I want to get it right the first time and just like be good at it.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm not good at this. And so I'm getting discouraged. Like big, like something like this in front of me full of water, I would get discouraged and be like intimidated by it because I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to get all that in. And then I won't drink it at all. Like, I'm like, no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm like, I just can't. Like I know that like if I get at least 2 protein shakes in, like I'm good on protein, like, and now I'm eating chicken and like high things in protein. So like,
nice.
You can kind of calculate it in your head a little bit. Okay.
So I'm more like focused on getting my hydration because I definitely like, according to my pee, I'm getting enough protein. I'm just not getting enough water.
Okay.
So like,
okay. Yeah, I had that happen the other day. I peed and I was like, oh,
yeah,
you need to go drink some water.
Yeah. We can definitely tell there's a lot of protein in it. So I'm like, okay, I'm good on protein.
Yeah.
So
has it really been, so I'm guessing it's been really emotional.
Yes.
Like
I think it's emotional for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's thinking that it's a lot of
James is nodding.
Emotional work.
Yeah.
That goes into it.
Yeah. I'm definitely forced to like do shadow work right now, which is like deep therapy, like knowing what to do and stuff.
Okay.
So you're in therapy.
I just emailed a therapist today.
Yay!
You did? So
awesome.
Like congratulations.
I've been like really putting it off and like, well, I was looking and there was like nobody taking anybody right now. So
because everybody needs therapy right now.
Because everybody needs therapy.
Yeah.
Like,
so explain to us the shadow therapy.
So the shadow work is just more of like digging into yourself. It's like a pagan Wiccan thing.
Okay.
And so like that's what you do for shadow work is that you like go really into your emotions and like your traumas. And so I'm like, shit.
You feel your feelings.
How are you doing that though? Are you like writing it down in a journal?
Yeah.
Okay. Like do you like do that once a day so you can kind of get it out?
I try to do it once a day, but at least once a week.
Okay.
So because I'm also in school on top of it. So I started school the same week that I got surgery.
Oh shit.
So
wow.
That's a lot.
Yeah. It's
wow, you are a busy lady.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for making the time for us.
Yes.
Seriously. Because like what was like the first instinct that you realized like, oh, this is an emotional issue and I'm going to need to go get therapy?
I feel pretty like in the last month and a half, like it was pretty early. Like I was like, why am I feeling like this? Like I'm angry. I'm unhappy. Like my life is great. I have a great husband. I have great kids. And you know, I have a great job. I love my life. Like, and I'm fucking angry. Like I hate it. Like I hate everything. And it's weird. I shouldn't feel this way. So
no, that's definitely not a normal feeling.
No.
And I mean, celebrate
it's
the fact
normal,
that
but
you
it's-
recognized it though.
Yeah, like it's normal, but it's not normal. Like it's like, hey, like we're allowed to feel angry, even if we have everything that we need, like in our necessities.
Yeah,
like
but-
it's okay to feel those things, but at least like you're now aware of that, and now you're actually gonna go get help for it. Because I think what's not the unnormal, but what's not healthy, is staying in that mode for like months and then being angry at everyone around you and yourself, and then not doing anything about it.
Yeah.
That would be just the unhealthy way, because like that can really like detriment your whole journey in this whole process. So
well, I think with like me being an emotional eater, I didn't have to face my emotions. I'm like, I'm gonna like take it out on this food, and then I'm gonna be happy and fine and like go. And I was like thinking on the way here, I was watching this lady. She's like super skinny, and she was like just like straight face, like trying on something, and I'm like, skinny people aren't happy because they can't eat. That's the secret. Like, like I was so like, you know, and I'm like, that's not good way of thinking. Like,
well, but I mean, we learned at an early age, at least, you know, I did, that if you put it into the food or whatever you're doing to distract yourself, you know, whether that be alcohol, drugs, or whatever, you're putting those emotions in a box every time you do that. So you're not having to feel those things.
Right.
Yep.
And then as soon as that box is taken away and you can't put it in there anymore, like,
where does it go?
Are you supposed to do?
Like 80% of it's
in
gone?
your face. Yeah. So it's been a wild 3 months. Like I said, I got surgery. We had some pretty intense family stuff with my kid that ended up like with some diagnoses for him, and he started a new medication, which is crazy, and just my job is crazy, and then James got a new schedule, and
it's a lot of life changes.
and school at the same time. Like I have one more term next term and I'll be done. Like it's very temporary.
Very cool.
And I'll be graduated and everything, but it's just been a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot to go through, and this journey is not an easy one. And so when you add, just doing your journey is one thing, but then when you add family stuff, kid stuff, husband stuff, and schedule changes, for me, I don't like change. Yeah. So when things like, it makes me crazy. Like even going on this long ass trip that we just went on, like it's still like it messed with me because nothing was the way it was supposed to be. And then I ended up, there was somebody got COVID from the retreat. And so then by the time I found out and everything, I live with my mom. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll just stay with Zach for an extra week after we get back, because then it'll be 2 weeks. But even that is like, this is not my house. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Like, I don't live here.
I don't live here. And like all my stuff is in suitcases. And like, how am I supposed to even do this? So yeah, it's not any changes of any kind, whether it be medication, surgeries, new schedule changes, like it just messes with you very easily.
It's been rough, and like trying to like I work 40 hours. I have 2 kids, a husband, a house, school, and like I have extra things at work that I'm doing. And it's like, when do I have time to like even go to the gym? Like I haven't been to the gym at all, and I hate saying that because it's not good. But I'm like, how do I even have time? Like,
that's okay.
Are you
that's totally okay.
Still on a restriction from going to the gym?
I'm like, good. I just haven't been able. I don't have time, and like because my schedule at work changed too, and now it's changed again starting this week.
Oh wow.
Because we're so short staffed right now, and so like I had to like make up it. But now I'm working. I get off work at 5 Monday through Friday, so it'll be like a lot better. Like I can go to the gym after work if I wanted to for an hour, and it will be still.
Well, and don't be so hard on yourself, because you are only 3 months, and that's typically a lot of people that's when they get that release anyway.
Yeah.
So that's super normal. And then when you're at this stage, it's really all about that food and that water. Yeah. Because you're gonna lose anyway. So as long as you're moving, is the biggest deal.
Which it sounds like you are.
Yeah. It sounds like you're fucking going all day long. So as long as you're up on your feet, it's like I would be like don't even worry about it for a little while until you can get kind of a routine started.
Yeah.
And just do a little bit at a time. Like say like the schedule changes to like 5 o'clock, right? Just go to the gym for 30 minutes or not even go to the gym. Just go on a walk when it's not raining.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if people that don't know, we're all in Oregon and it fucking rains right now. Like this is the time.
Yeah.
But take advantage of those those days like today, how it's like been fine.
Or set yourself up and say, okay, one day this week, I'm going to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Just one day. That's all. For 20 minutes, I'm going to go to the gym one day. And then slowly add more days in.
Yeah.
But just don't add. You've already got a lot going on.
Yeah, I know. You
got a lot going on.
My husband asks me all the time, how big's that plate? And I'm like, it's a platter. And now it's a buffet. Like that's where we're at right now.
It's a buffet.
Yeah.
I like that.
So it's pretty intense, but like I love my job and I love everything going around it and things will start settling down. And I mean, that's what I keep telling myself, but like it'll be fine.
I mean, life is always going to be busy.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I feel like it never really does. And I think that the surgery forces us to take care of ourselves. And that's the biggest deal is like, hey, life is still going to happen regardless of what we're doing. We just have to take care of number one first.
Yes.
So what does like your routine look like in the morning, like throughout the day, like for, vitamins and protein and all that?
I have to take my vitamins at night because they make me sick.
Oh, yeah.
So
I do
like
the same thing.
And what vitamins are you taking?
I'm taking these ones.
You're taking the ProCare.
Yeah. We just happen to have them on the table.
Yes.
Well, because I need to take mine. I always have to take one after I eat because of the iron in those. I really need iron.
Yeah.
My iron's pretty low, and especially when I'm on my period, it's like I look like death.
It's scary.
Like at first I was like, I'm fine, and then Eric and Kelly were like, no, you're not. You look like a fucking
pale
ghost.
as fuck.
Yeah, it's bad. So like those have been helping with my iron levels. So are you taking one with iron too?
I think I'm taking one with iron.
Nice.
Yeah, it looks just like that bottle.
Awesome.
So I take that at night. I take one calcium in the morning and one calcium at night. I really suck at taking the calcium just because they're so gross. And so I need to just get the caps because I just can't do the chewables. Like
Gotcha.
they're super chalky and like big and I just can't.
Yeah. But you haven't tried the ProCare ones.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, but she's going to try after this episode because we have some upstairs.
Yeah, the salted caramel is like, and so is the chocolate.
Okay.
I mean, seriously, like they made s'mores at the retreat. They had a s'mores event and they used their calcium chocolate.
Oh, how cool.
And so
it was good.
It was really good.
Yeah.
And I love the chocolate. Like when I was in my beginning stage, because I have a problem with sweets, we all know it. I would use that as my like treat for the end of the night because it tastes just like chocolate.
How cool.
Yeah, like dark chocolate.
Yeah. Yum.
Yeah. And then their salted caramel, their cinnamon roll. I mean, you can't go wrong with their calcium chews.
Okay, perfect. I will definitely order some.
Yeah.
And then noises too. My body makes weird ass noises now.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I gurgle. I sound like I have like a frog inside my body, just like all the time.
Okay.
You feel it in your throat
Yeah.
too. Yep. Yep. She has the gurgles too.
She gets the gurgles.
I definitely have the gurgles.
Okay, so you get up. Are you drinking water right away?
Yeah,
or
so I fill up my hydrate bottle the night before and I take my meds. And then I wake up and I'm immediately putting on my vanity and I'm drinking water while I'm like doing my makeup.
Awesome.
And then on my way to work, I grab a decaf dub shot with sugar-free coconut, sugar-free white chocolate, and one Splenda. And then I put my Fairlife chocolate shake in it or protein shake. So
all right.
it's super good. It tastes just like a Kokomo. Have you guys had one of those?
No.
Oh, if you guys want to try it, you can.
I'm not a huge fan of coconut.
It's not very coconut-y. It's like very mild. It's like it's really good.
I'll try it because I love coconut.
I'm sick, so I will not try it.
Okay, perfect.
Because I don't want to pass that. I don't want to add that onto your plate.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can't get what I have a sinus infection. So,
sinus infections are the worst.
Yes.
It's been like 2 weeks of this shit.
Yeah.
I'm over it. But I mean, I like that you've kind of made it work for you. So you're not eliminating everything.
Mm-mm.
You're just changing it a little bit.
Yeah.
You're tweaking it.
So and then
work for you.
Yeah, and then I go to work. It's crazy because my coffee went from like $5 to $1.50.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Saving money.
So funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's nice. And then I just go to work and some days I'm like super busy, like in the car, like out in the field and like getting stuff. And then some days I'm just in my office, which is nice. And that way I could be like, oh, I need to eat or I need to like.
Are you bringing anything with you in the car? Or?
Yeah. So I usually have like a protein, like chewy, like a bar or something like chewy. Bar. Yeah. Like something that I can eat.
Okay.
I've been getting like the little snack packs, like that have like the vegetables in it and stuff. And sometimes at Starbucks, they have a protein box at Starbucks that I eat a lot. I really like that one, but that's
the cheese and the egg and
yeah,
it's really good. They have a peanut butter one that comes with peanut butter. That's really good too.
Yeah.
That's great to do on the go.
Yeah.
Or Costco sells these big sheets of it's salami on one end and cheese on the other.
Ooh.
And so it's just like one pack. Perfect size for us. And they're delicious. It's like $10 and you're good for at least a week.
It's like a week or so. Yeah. It's super nice.
I think
because she turned those on to me too.
They also have those little chicken packs too.
Yes. Yeah. The chicken breast ones, which I bought and I intended to use and I didn't.
Oh no.
I had to throw mine away.
Yeah,
but I think it's more like I look at it and I'm like, that's not real chicken.
Yeah.
Right. That doesn't look like real chicken to me. So I'm like, I'll rather just cook some chicken and chop them up. And
right. That's how I am. Yeah. I'd rather just throw it in a crock pot, cook it, and then just chop it up and then use it however I want.
Well, and like I actually buy the grilled chicken like already chopped up from Winco, and they're in their little individual boxes, and then I can just eat.
So it's kind of like that.
Yeah,
the Costco one.
Costco ones.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah, they're like little grilled ones.
Yeah. It's
they
just different.
They just are too soft for me. I think it is. I don't know what it is. I'm like, you
soft.
don't look real. Like you don't. I don't trust it.
You're like, is this process? What is going on here?
Yeah, sorry.
Are you putting any snacks at work so that way you have them on hand,
yeah,
like in your drawer or anything?
I have. James got me a mini fridge for my office.
Nice.
Thank you, Pepsi. But it's a Pepsi one, and like I store all my like yogurts and like have little snacks. I have a snack drawer that has like my Quest protein chips that I really like.
Okay.
And, just fruits and vegetables. I eat more vegetables than fruits, to be honest.
Oh,
that's good.
So.
Were you always more of a veggie fan?
Yeah.
So I love me some good snap peas and
and snap peas with some ranch.
That's so good too because like veggies are so high in fiber.
They are,
and that's helping like with the bathroom situation.
Oh yeah, it was the worst.
How is that going?
I like told my doctor, I'm like, I don't know if it's weird, but I feel like it's really sticky. Like my poop's sticky.
Oh
like, I don't know what it is, and like I was the type before that like I'd be poop 3-4 times a day, and like and now I'm like every other day, and I'm like, this is weird.
Yeah, because you're not eating very much, so you're not having to. Your body's not having to get rid of stuff because you're not filling it with everything.
I think that was like the first time I realized like there really is a 1-to-1 of like what you put in your body for you to process out. Because like I went to totally every other day, and it was like rabbit poop. It was just like pellets,
like nothing. Yeah, it's weird.
And I'm like, this is so weird. And I would tell Eric and my doctor, and they're like, no, Melanie, that's just you can barely consume. Like, I'm like, oh, it really is a fucking 1-to-1. Okay,
yeah,
like it's not. You're just not gonna just shit out a bunch of poop if you don't fucking eat.
Yeah.
Nope.
And it's funny because you're saying this now, and I'm like, that makes fucking sense. Like I thought that I was just constipated.
Yeah.
But nope, it's because you're not eating a lot.
I think I was legit like every other day.
Yeah.
After.
Yeah.
Sometimes every 3 days.
So it's pretty common then.
Yeah.
My goodness.
But yeah, and I wasn't very sore when I got home either. I mean, it was pretty good. Like I was just reading like all these horror stories on like, all these women are like, oh, I was in so much pain. I did almost pass out when they took the drain tube out. Like I almost did.
You had a drain tube.
Yeah.
Oh, tell us about this drain tube.
It was disgusting. And when she pulled it out, it's how I would imagine when people like have a spaghetti coming out of their nose and they're like going like this.
Oh.
And I was like, I almost passed out. Like it was bad. She just like ripped it out of me, and I was like, what?
Why did you have a drain tube, and where was it?
It was just like right here.
On the left side, on your right side. Okay.
How long was it in there for?
They took it out before I left the hospital.
And you only did 1 day or 2 days in the hospital?
I think it was 24 hours. We were there a little over 24 hours.
Okay, so 1 day.
Yeah.
Weird. I've never heard of anybody getting a drain tube.
Yeah, why were they doing that?
There was just like some drainage.
Some extra fluid.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it just felt weird when she pulled it out. Okay.
It was just like,
you can feel it through your body when she did it.
It was disgusting.
Oh my God.
I almost passed out.
I kind of want to have a drain just so I can understand the feeling.
But it's like,
when we
it
get
was
plastics, we'll have drains.
Yeah, it was like
not
super
everybody
long.
do.
Really?
Most of the people do. Yeah, most people. I don't think it's like, I think it's more uncommon that you don't have a drain. I keep seeing these like drain tubes with all the people that are getting plastics. Like, it's intense.
And they have like, they hook it onto something and they actually like,
and they have to empty it out
so they can take a shower and shit. Yeah. That's crazy. Okay,
Yeah.
so you had a dream tube. Did not know about that.
Yeah.
So, and then the pain you said wasn't bad though.
The pain wasn't bad. I mean, I definitely made sure that I wasn't feeling like as much pain. Like
Okay.
I was very on top of like my Tylenol and my pain medicine because I just did not. I don't think I could handle it. I think I would like freak the fuck out and just like panic. And so I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. Like, I don't want to do it. So
Were you using a liquid Tylenol? I remember I got a kid's liquid Motrin is what I got.
Yeah, it was hard to find the liquid Tylenol, but we found it. So
oh, good. Where'd you end up finding it at?
Like random stores, like Walgreens, like Rite Aid, like not the big companies, but like the little one, like
the little pharmacy areas. Yeah.
Weird. Okay, so I have to ask because if you guys can't see this, but she had her sweater over her legs.
Yeah.
And she's like in her sweater.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
I'm so
cold. The bariatric freeze has started.
Yes, it has.
Damn.
And well, because I feel like my highest this year was 320. So like I had to lose, and when I was surgery, I was 277. And then when I got home, I was 285 from like all the gas and swelling. Yeah. And now I'm at 239. So I mean, I've lost like a shit ton.
Yeah, you almost lost 100 pounds.
Yeah.
That is nuts.
Yeah, and 19 more pounds will be 100 pounds this year.
Whoa, that's so crazy.
Like my youngest, he weighs 70 pounds. And I'm like, I lost a whole you.
Yeah.
Like, and so I've always been the hoodie type of girl. Like I'm not very, like I like to snuggle and stuff and get blankets, but I'm like cold.
Yeah.
And I feel bad because I share an office with 3 other people, and I get there, I'm the first one there, and it's like freezing in there. And so I turn the heat all the way up to like 75, 80.
Yep.
And they're like, holy shit, Hailey, it's so hot. And I'm like, oh, what? I'm comfortable. Like, what do you mean?
It's like you need a desk heater like underneath.
Yeah, I have like a heating blanket there, but and then James got me a blanket where it has like the hands, the arms, so I could like type and like be warm.
Yeah, it's fucking a problem.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna lie, like when I didn't even have the bear freeze for like almost a year or two. And then it was like huge problem because the job that I switched to, cold ass building.
Yeah.
So fucking cold. And these girls that like have been tiny their whole life, they're like, just wear leggings underneath your jeans. And I go, what? That's an option.
Right.
And then like, yeah, we buy thick leggings with fleece inside and then we wear our jeans over them. And I was like, oh, brilliant. Yeah. And then I did that for a full year and it was amazing. And then
I probably should start doing that.
Yeah, do that. The heating blankets, we did the heating blankets too. And then we would do the top thing that you're talking about, the arms and stuff, because the fingers still get fucking freezing.
Yeah, I have fingerless gloves, like the ones so I can type and stuff and use my phone, but I'm just cold, and it's a fight because he is super hot all the time. And like he's like dad status in our house, like, why is the thermometer so high? And I'm like, because I'm fucking dying. Like, fuck off. Like
I help pay that bill.
Yeah.
I get to choose where it's gonna be at.
But then but I'm also the type that like has our window open and like the fan going in our room, and I'm like, it's cold.
Oh my gosh. I love going to bed and it being freezing cold, and because I like to snuggle under blankets, and I'll have the window open and the fan on, and Zach's like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, he's like, stop doing that. And I'm like, but he has his heating blanket, turns it on, it warms it up on my side. And I'm like, no, I don't want that. I want the cold.
Yeah.
It's always a fucking fight.
Yeah.
Because we're doing the same thing too. I told Eric, like, as long as my nose doesn't get cold.
Yeah.
Because that's the part where, like, when my nose gets cold, it literally takes me probably almost an hour to get warm again.
It's fucked up when it gets to that point.
Yeah, it's like beyond belief. It's like I get angry. And now it's funny is like I'll walk around in shorts and he's like, it's so hot in here. I was like, but I can wear shorts in here and I don't care. And he's like, but the heater. I'm like, no, you're not in the house enough to bitch right now. Like I'm like literally we have arguments and I'm like, I fucking pay the bill. I don't care what the fucking bill is. I'm so sick and tired of being cold because being cold now is like it's almost to your bones. Like you're
that's
just
what
like
it feels like. It's really cold.
It does. It hurts. And you're just like, what the hell? What the hell? What's going on with the clothes, ma'am?
Yes.
So I have so many clothes for sale right now. It's insane.
Where do you sell your clothes?
James has been starting an eBay for me for selling my clothes. But mostly just my word of mouth right now because I'm too tired.
We can link it below too.
Yeah, we'll put it in your descriptions.
I know a lot of people are probably gonna.
Yeah. They're very like gothy from Torrid.
Yeah,
What?
for those that don't know,
Good
if you're just
quality
now
clothes.
listening in for some reason, she has amazing style.
Amazing
And a
style.
hell of
Yes.
a fucking wardrobe.
Yes,
Yes.
it's so big.
Yeah.
So I've been shopping. It's crazy because I can go into so starting I was a 3X.
Okay.
And now I'm an extra large.
Yay!
That's so
Yeah.
crazy. I love it.
It's crazy. So I'm able to like basically shop wherever I want now
Mhm.
and like
Yeah. Like
So-
really, I mean, you have great style already, but it just gives you more options
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
that great style.
yeah,
to,
I
like-
definitely get to be more like gothy punky, which is what I've always wanted to be, but it's just so
Mhm.
hard to find that because
Mhm. Without
well,
spending an arm and a leg.
yeah.
Yeah.
And now you can go into like the clearance section and
Mhm.
always find something.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I loved was going to a clearance section and finding a shirt for $5 instead of $45.
Yep.
Oh, it's so much fucking better.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's
Oh, yeah.
insane. I hate the fat tax. It's so stupid.
It is a fat tax. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I know they
I
say
hate
it's
that.
because it's more fabric, but I'm like $20 more.
Yeah.
Back your
No.
face right
Yeah.
now. I don't think
No.
so.
You're punishing me.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
100%.
That's why we keep our fat tax, I should say, on our website. We keep it so minimal
Yeah.
because it's like, why should you have to pay more
Yeah.
for that? Like
Yeah, no.
it's a difference between one size. Like
yeah.
extra large to a 2X it's stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like on our website, like because it does go up, like so, and that was like not even like for us. Like
Yeah.
we just saw like there is a jump when it hits the 3X, and we're like, and it's only like a couple bucks. So we're like, we don't even take a profit on it. We just do the $2 that it says it does. We're like,
Mhm.
yep, that's fine. Like
Yep.
we're not gonna charge anybody extra for this shit. Like $2. That's fine. I'm okay with that. But like, why would I charge now? Like, I know how that feels. Like $10. You know, like
For,
no, we're
yeah,
not
for the
doing
same
that.
shirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Not
don't get it.
happening.
Yeah, just for a little bit extra fabric.
Yeah. Like, what
Sorry,
was the
no.
first place that you got to get an extra large at?
I actually, the first major place that I was like, holy shit,
Mm-hmm.
was Hot Topic.
Yeah.
Like I was able to walk in there and I bought $15 pants that were like plaited blue. They were so cool.
Fuck yeah.
And I got a ghost face shirt.
Okay.
Oh.
And it fits and I'm like, what the fuck?
It's
So-
always weird when that starts to happen.
I'm still like, it's amazing. And like the pants I'm wearing right now, I bought and I was like, oh, I won't be able to fit them for a while. Like
Yeah.
it'll be fine. I have like a stored pile somewhere. I'm like a squirrel, like just hiding all my clothes.
I do the same thing though. You should see my closet.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
It's
How
a
many
lot.
clothes I have.
So I'm like, well, let's just see. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like they actually fit and they're comfortable and I'm not like, so I'm like, I've always been between a 20 and 22 for years. And now I'm like a 16, 18.
Yeah.
So it's
Look
So
at
insane.
how
many
many
non-scale
inches.
victories in there also.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Like that is where I feel like more people need to rate their weight loss
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
is with inches and clothing sizes
Yeah.
versus
The scale.
Pounds,
scale.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also fit in chairs better, which I'd never noticed until now. And I'm like,
I have room.
yeah, this is weird.
Like,
Yeah.
wait a minute.
I feel so big everywhere or so small and everything. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, you're just like
Yeah, just like little. It's weird.
little kid in a big kid in
Yeah.
an adult chair.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm underweight on my driver's license. Like,
Oh, the
Which is-
recorded weight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, which I've always lied about for years. Like,
Oh,
I
yeah,
have
everybody
it.
does,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I'm like, I don't weigh that. And I'm under, not over that weight. So,
We actually had
That's
a Benchy post about that a couple days ago.
Mm-hmm.
That he was finally at the weight that it said his license or
Yeah.
his license
It's
weight.
actually said, yeah.
Yeah.
Because even like I lied on that, but I put like 250.
that's what mine is 250.
Yeah. And I'm like, wait, now, like when I went down, I was like, holy shit. Like, because I still have the old one because I
Mhm.
literally like got my new license and then a year later got like the surgery done.
Mhm.
And it takes 6 years here for it to expire. Like I've done like a whole new license, but they're like, you don't get to take a picture.
I know, it's stupid. I
Yeah.
went in there and I was like, I dressed all cute. I had my hair done and everything because I was down to my weight. And then she's like, no, you don't get a new picture. I'm like, what
Nope.
the fuck?
You're like, listen, lady,
I'm like,
they're going to think this is a lie.
yeah, because the weight that's on my license is my actual weight,
Mhm.
but the picture is the old picture.
Yeah.
That's
And-
funny.
Yeah. I mean, thank God, like, I actually took that picture at one of my lower weights.
Oh, I
but-
see. I
so
see.
it's not too bad.
Mhm.
But I mean, Stupid.
Well,
Yeah,
still, because the
still.
only problem I actually had was through TSA because I'd get the like double check. They're like, I'm like, no, it is me. I'm just 100 pounds smaller.
Yeah.
Like, and they're like, oh, okay. I was like,
'Cause
sweet.
Zach went through that on our trip because he still has his 400-pound license, and he is not 400
No.
pounds. He's lost like 200.
Is Zach,
something.
did he get the surgery too?
Yeah, he got bypass,
I didn't
actually.
know that.
Yeah, he's going to be at his 2-year in February.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, so you guys are like little buddies on that.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. It's nice because when we travel together, like we both get the whole like we just share food because we don't eat enough to like actually make it worthwhile.
Yeah. It's been a trip with like us because I will like order something and like can't finish it. Like yesterday they got McDonald's and I'm like, well, I want like a taco salad. Like I don't want this. And so I got a taco salad and they're like big, you know, and I'm like 4 bites, like I'm all done. Like, and James like perfect. I'll eat the rest of it.
Yeah,
Like,
there you go. Yeah, he gets the extra
all the
food.
leftovers.
Yep.
Yeah, the kids usually get all of my leftovers. We will go out to eat, and then it's like a full meal. So we just take it home and give it to the girls because it's like, what's the point? And he doesn't like leftovers. I'll eat it sometimes, but I'm not a huge leftover fan.
I don't like wasting food, so I will keep eating it.
Nope.
All day long or the next day.
Toss it right out the window.
I don't like if you make salad and then the next day. Like I don't like that.
Oh, salad, no.
Soggy salad.
No, that's when I just eat all day long and then that's gone after that. It's like new because like that's gonna go wilty and gross.
Yeah,
and
it's not a good
slimy.
Time. Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah.
I just got a mental picture.
We call it swampy salad.
Like swamp
Nasty.
So what about non-scale victories? We've got another couple. But
yeah, those are like the big major ones. Just it's just crazy. Just everything. It's just like my face, like seeing people I haven't seen for a while. Like, you know, like I saw my sister this weekend and I haven't seen her since before surgery. So this was her first time seeing me and
how'd that go?
She was just like, holy shit. Like, cause we've like FaceTime and stuff. It was funny during surgery. So I made sure James had like you guys were part of that. Yeah. I made sure that he only had one area to go to talk to everybody. I put everybody in there. And my sister like calls James and she's like, how's my sister? Like, he's like, oh, are you not reading the messages? And she's like, I am her sister. Like,
I get special treatment. God damn it.
Like I don't give. I'm not one of those people. I'm her sister. I need to like minute-to-minute updates right now. And James was like,
okay. Oh, that's funny. How was your first Thanksgiving?
So I made Thanksgiving dinner for my whole family. So that was fun. I feel like I have a weird fetish. Like I'll watch him eat pie now and I'm like, yes. Like,
eat the pie.
Eat it.
How does it taste?
Tell me everything.
Right? Slower, please.
Enjoy that bite.
Yeah. So like I did like the full blown like turkey, ham, mashed potatoes, potato salad, like the whole thing. Went got pies, cheesecakes, and everything. And I got a little plate. I have my little plates now, and I'm like, I'm working really hard on like I eat fast, and like now it's like it hurts to eat fast.
Yep.
I love that he's shaking his head back there. He's like,
I get sick. I'm like, oh, I ate too fast, and I have to like lay down for a second.
Yep.
I've only thrown up twice the whole time though, so I mean that's pretty cool. And it was because I ate too fast.
Yeah.
So and then I couldn't eat for the rest of the day because I was like,
you're just
traumatized.
No.
I felt foamy. Like I'm like I just feel foamy. Like I don't want to eat anything.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And so I try to slow down and eat. But other than that, everything else is good. Like I'm able to eat. I'm able to I like sometimes I'm like, did I fuck it up already? Like am I you know what I mean? Because I don't when I get full, it's like people are like when I feel full, I'm like dead. And I'm like, I don't feel that way. Like it is my body's like, hey, you're full, like you're good. And I'm like, okay. And it's like a good conversation I have with my body. And I'm like, okay, that is move on with my day. But like some people
you're
like
listening to your body signals. Yeah.
I was gonna say that's really good. That means that you're literally like understanding how you feel and what's it doing. Because I didn't have a problem with that either. Yeah.
And I feel weird because I feel like I should be more like
you shouldn't be miserable. You shouldn't be miserable. So if your body gives you that signal, and I'm trying to like reintroduce that to myself because I've been I've been off plan for a while.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to listen to my body and like think back to like, okay, what did it feel like?
Well, I'm also making sure like I really sat down and was like, what made me fail? Like what made me fail before? And it was because when you're on diets, there's so much restrictions, right? There's so much restrictions. And I think that's where I fucked up because like, I'd be like, oh, well, I fucked up and ate this and now I'm fucked for the rest of my life. Like yeet, like, you know what I mean? Like, let's just do this. And so now I'm like, I'm sure it's not like I eat healthy, like I eat like my proteins and vegetables, but like if I want like a little, like especially since Halloween just happened, like the little candy bars, like the like bite-sized ones.
Yeah, the minis.
Like I'll be like, if I want that, I'll have that. And like most of the time it's only half and I just throw it away. And it's not like.
But you know your stopping point.
Yeah. Like I'm not like, oh, well, I can eat 5 of these little baby Kit Kats and it's still not the same amount.
Because they're still little.
Yeah.
They're little, guys. Yeah. It doesn't count if they're little.
No. And so like I feel like that's been good for me. Like I'm still like, because when you think you're on a diet, like, oh, I got to count calories, like your body's not like, well, if there was like 2 things that are same with the calories, like your body's not like, well, that's the bad calorie and this is the good calorie kind of thing. I'm sure it does, but to me, it doesn't.
But it sounds like it's working for you.
But I'm like making sure that I'm not overeating. I'm not like, you know, like I'm such a chip person. Like I love chips. Like that's
your jam.
Yeah, I love every, like, you know how people are like, I love potatoes and they're all comes all these forms. Like that's mine. Like chips are for me.
Chips are for you.
Yeah.
But again, you found your version
chips.
of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have my protein, but like sometimes I'll eat like Doritos but like I get the mini bag and like I only eat like 1/3 of it and then I throw it away. Like there's no, like I get it out of my view. Like, okay, I need to be done. Like this, you know, and then, but then like I'm scared, like I panic. I'm like, am I stretching out my stomach? Am I, you know, and it's like, I'm listening to my body and like, that's okay. And like, I'm not a robot. Like I don't need to be miserable. And, you know, like I can eat like 2-3 chips and like, as long as I'm not eating like 4 or 5 bags, like how I used to. And like, and so, I mean, I've lost like 70 pounds. Yeah. Over 70 pounds.
Yeah.
So I'd say
you're doing great.
You're doing good.
Yeah.
You're doing good.
I really like, I know what my addiction, I think I like head on with my addiction. Like I was like, I am addicted to food. Like that's what it is. And I was talking to my sister about it. She's like, well, what do you do? And I'm like, I really had to treat it as an addiction. Like when I call people and be like, I'm about to have a relapse, like I'm about to go off like before I have surgery. Cause you know, I can't eat a basket of fries anymore.
Right.
So you just have to treat it like an addiction. And I think even now, like I'm in recovery now. Right. So that's what it is. And so I'm treating it as recovery. Like, you make sure that you're listening to your body and like, I don't want to torture myself. And I know that torturing myself is just going to set me up to fail. So like, I will allow myself this and that's okay.
I like that you said that, like, how did I mess up? How did I fuck up with all the other times that I've tried? Cause you know, we've all tried several diets.
All of them.
Yeah. Like, I mean, we've all done it. That's why we're in the spot that we're at because we needed something different.
Yeah.
And I like that you thought about that, like what made those not work for me? How can I change that to become something successful? And I think that's the key is knowing like I can still have a slice of pumpkin pie.
Right.
I'm just not going to eat an entire pie.
Yeah.
And I think what's really hard for our diet brains is you always think like, oh, I can never have this again.
Right.
I can never have this again.
No.
But the thing is like you can have a slice of pumpkin pie and you can eat half of it and then be like, okay, well, I'll have the other half
later,
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay if I have it. It's okay. It's like, you can always have it at a different time.
Right. And it's like, I don't eat a lot of sugary things. Like, everything I drink is sugar-free. But, like, I love white chocolate Reese's. Like, and, like, the little ghost ones this year.
Did you call them Reese's?
Yeah.
I love that. That's so cute.
Like, the little Reese's. What are they? Reese's? Reese's.
But Reese's. I like that so much better.
Yeah. That's cute.
But yeah, so like the little ghost minis that they had, and I just would eat half and throw it away, and I'd be like, I'm satisfied. Like, and it's fine. And I'm trying not to, like I said, like we have such a huge Hallmark picture on this, and like it is not. Like you don't have to eat salads all the time, guys.
I like that you do that because you're right. You don't have to.
You don't.
And you don't. I think we need to, with the addictive brain, we talk in absolutes, and we need to really like stay away from absolutes because it's never all or nothing.
Yeah.
It can actually be the little bits here and there.
Yeah.
And you're proving it right now.
Yeah. And
by
I
what you're doing.
I told James, like, when I at Thanksgiving dinner, I had like a little plate and there's just like little bits of everything.
Yeah.
Like the mashed potatoes was like a little
Like,
bit,
it's
like a
like,
little drop.
Doop.
Yeah. And I'm like, look at my fancy dish. Like,
I love
Like when
that.
you go to fancy restaurants and they give you like
The
this
little-
much
yeah.
because you've got 7 courses.
yeah,
Yep.
that's exactly
Oh
how
my
it
gosh.
was. So I was like, very much so, like, this is not a death sentence. Like,
No.
and I think a lot of people
No.
treat it that way. They're like, I'm not gonna fuck this up. Like, you're not gonna fuck it up if you eat half of a ghost of a Reese's. Like, I promise you. Like, it's not gonna happen.
I love it.
Like,
Like, it over at Reese's.
and it's
They're
just
so cute.
it's just how, like, I've approached it. Like, I didn't want to fuck this up, and I really needed to make sure that, like, what failed, because we can all go on a diet and we all go on the gym, but like what makes you fail a diet?
It's
Your restrictions.
The restrictions.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I have actually, so I'm back on plan. It's been 5. This is the day 5.
Just doing good, man.
And I'm doing really good.
Yeah.
I've had like half of a slice of pumpkin pie with some whipped cream, which I always allowed whipped cream in my diet.
Yeah,
Like
same.
that was because I'm a sweet fiend. Like if there are sweets in the house, I will eat it until it's gone.
Last night I found sugar-free vanilla ice cream,
Ooh.
and I ate a scoop with my sugar-free caramel.
Ooh.
Like after I had a 100-question exam. I'm like, after this exam, I'm eating ice cream, and it was good. And I didn't get the like dumpy feeling that people
I was gonna
keep saying.
ask.
Yeah, like I don't get. Even when I ate like a little Kit Kat, like I still didn't, because I was so scared.
Yeah.
Because my son gave me a marshmallow Kit Kat, the Greenwich one that, I don't know if you saw them, but it was
Yeah.
like just a little, I ate half of a little one. So
Okay.
like a bite.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have to, because it's, like white chocolate and marshmallow.
Like
Like,
that's my
dang.
jam.
Yeah.
They're
It's like,
together.
Things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Have you experienced any dumping syndrome or anything like that?
And
Oh, good.
And like I said, like I feel like I'm like, did I fuck it up? Because
No.
like I'm
Yeah.
not getting all these symptoms that everyone else is getting, and I'm like, no. They're like, oh, I had such a like the only thing I'm getting is the water. Like that's the only thing that I'm like, oh, it sucks.
Zach has a problem with steak,
Mhm.
eating steak. That gives him that like full, like in your throat.
Yeah.
Like he can't do it. But unless he cooks it like his way, because it has to be like tender.
Yeah.
It has
It's
to
very
be
important.
It's
Yeah.
a certain thing. But he never had to do dumping either.
Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
I can eat steak. Like James made T-bone steak the other night, and
I love me a good steak.
I
Yeah,
know.
me
Me
too.
too.
it was
They're-
really good.
Yeah.
Like he is such a good cook.
Best steak I ever had was in New Orleans.
I
Like-
want to go to New Orleans. So
Oh
bad.
my gosh. We went to this restaurant. It was a coffee rub steak,
Mhm.
filet mignon. And they had a bourbon sauce on the side that you poured over it. But you cut into the steak, it was like butter.
I
It
bet
was like butter. Like, and it like melted in. Oh, I want to go back purely
just for the
just
steak.
for that
Yeah.
steak.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it was so good.
Yeah. So I just been really just kind of, I don't want to fuck this up, and I know what will fuck it up, and so I'm just kind of just living my life, and I
Well,
think
you
that's
did a lot
okay.
of work to get to this point mentally where
Yeah.
you know what needs to happen. You know what the stopping points are.
Yeah.
It sounds like that year really prepared you for what you're going through, because you're making those automatic like responses that our body should have
Yeah.
before
we
surgery,
fucked it
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
but we didn't have it. And
Yeah.
so now you're saying, okay, like when I'm full and I stop.
Mhm.
Or I want to have a Reese's. I'm going to totally say that from now
Do
on.
it. Do it, girl.
I'm going to have half of it and then I'm going to throw it away because I
Yeah.
know if it sits on the counter,
I'm
I'm
gonna
going
eat
to eat
it,
the
yeah.
rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't need to be eating the rest of it because it's not just like, I've kind of recently like reaffirmed all of those things in my own head. So
Yeah.
it makes it's connecting me a lot. But I've also found like by doing crafts,
Mhm.
it keeps my hands busy. Right, that's why this happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I can sit there and I can make these cups or I can like rhinestone them and I'm constantly doing something.
Yeah.
So I'm not in the kitchen thinking that I'm hungry
Yeah. So
because I'm actively doing something else.
so that's your addiction brain.
yes.
So like when you quit smoking, like a lot of people get like suckers, or they have like
Mhm.
something in their hand.
to kind
so-
of replace that action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I definitely utilize the, am I bored or am I hungry kind of thing. So
Mhm.
Good.
like, so
I've really started like asking myself that a lot more.
yeah.
now.
So and I think that like people like jump into this and they're like, I have to do it this way. And it's
Mhm.
like, get your protein, get your water in, eat a goddamn Reese's, let it go. Like,
yeah, it's like just hit the protein and water goals, and then everything else is going to fall into place.
Yeah.
If you can just do those two things, because like some people are trying to count calories, they're trying to count carbs, they're trying to count sugars.
Yeah.
It's so fucking overwhelming. It's like count two things.
Yeah.
And then just do whatever you want to do for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Just count those two things.
Yeah. Make sure you get it. And I just really have hit like tackled my fear. So like my two biggest fears is loose skin and my hair falling out. Like that is like big time for me.
Those are super understandable.
Yes.
A lot of us have them.
Yes. Yep. So vitamins and protein is for the hair. Like, and so, but I also got biotin hair shampoo and conditioner.
Nice.
Okay.
And leave-in like a spray that you put in too.
Keep us updated on that.
Yes. Yeah. High conditioners really help the hair because it gets so dry. Like I had really bad dry hair because I could not for the life of me get that water in that first year.
And so I also use Coco and Eve, and they have like a really good one. Good for your hair that I use. So I just that's my biggest thing. And then every day I put lotion on my body like to make sure that the loose skin.
Thank you.
Like so I'm very on top of it.
Yeah.
Like I made sure. So,
and I think those fears are for so many,
so valid.
Like I was the same way. Like my hair is my identity as a woman. Your hair, like we don't just shave off our hair,
right?
Like it's very rare that a woman does that, and so losing your hair that's a real,
big thing.
Yeah, it's a big thing for your identity, and you're already. I feel like so much of this journey is out of your control. And so when you start to get loose skin or hair or losing hair, that's rough.
Well, and I see girls like I need to stop following these Facebook things because they just
some are good, some are bad, man.
Yeah. And they'll like show pictures of like clumps of their hair. And I got my hair done because last time I was here I had half and half hair. I told I was talking to my therapist, my hair stylist.
It could be a therapist. Yeah.
And I was telling her, I'm like, she's like, I just want you to know that you lose 100 pieces of hair a day, at least. She's like, so when you're in the shower and you see all that hair, she's like, you're more aware now because of what you're going through. And I'm like, so I had to tell myself, I'm like a big clump, like not a big clump, but it like looks like a big clump now to me. And I'm like, okay.
Is it starting?
Yeah. Like I just like kind of freak out. But they say that 3 months is when it starts to happen. But like I've been really good about my protein and like I started the biotin, I think it was 2 weeks after my surgery. That was like I just started using the shampoo and conditioner. And like so.
And you haven't noticed anything, any like lightness or
and I like
and my hair's hydrated. And,
I mean the main parts are like right here.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot like that gets very, very thin right around your like front of your face.
Yeah, your hairline.
And but I think mine started right around 3 months and then it stopped at 6 months.
Yeah.
But I was also not as diligent about getting my protein in or taking my vitamins.
Yeah.
So I think that you're on a good path.
Yeah. So I'm hoping because like I've already lost a cup size in my boobs.
Wow.
I have always had big boobs, like triple D's.
Yeah.
Like my whole, like since 7th grade is when I got.
Her bra could fit over my face.
Yeah. I was a 44 triple D.
That's what I was. Yeah. And so now I'm a 40 double D, but like I did not, like I just got I had to get new bras because I was so self-conscious because my bras made me look like the bigger, like it didn't give me, it was just pad.
Yeah.
You know? And so like we would be having sex. And it'd be like grabbing my boobs, but it's just pad. I'm like, you gotta stop. Like, stop. Yeah.
It's like, what do I do? What do I do?
Are you making a single at us symbol? Oh,
nope.
I thought
you
were
Signal.
Not symbol.
We'll get there.
I don't know.
Has that been good?
Yeah, our sex life is.
He says yes. That is a big yes.
Yes. So, but the first time, it was it was kind of.
I remember I was scared the first time.
Yeah,
I was legit scared of like any pain or like things moving.
Yeah. I think that we were just because it was a while and like it was just.
How long after?
I think we waited like 3 weeks.
Okay.
It was like 3 weeks, to have sex. And like, it was just kind of like, in the middle of it, I was just like, I don't know how to move my body anymore. And so like, I'm like, okay, we're gonna do better the second time. The second time was still kind of like, eh. And then the third time I got on top and I was like, there's so much room for activities up here. Like,
yes, there is.
Yeah, I was like, damn, okay. Yeah. And so I definitely moved differently.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, how can you not?
Yeah, because I mean,
you're lighter, man.
Yeah, I'm lighter, and there's not like my stomach's not in the way of having, sex.
Yep.
And so, yeah, it's just crazy. But yeah, I have my insecurities, like my boobs are smaller and I have, loose skin on my breast, which is normal.
That's super normal.
Yeah. And so it's just, and with my age, with my age and all that too, like, I just feel like my boobs are pancakes. So
I mean, I went from, like I said, like it was a 44 triple D to now I'm a 38 full C.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, there's going to be skin, there's going to be shit. Like, and you just have to kind of deal with it.
What's up?
Go ahead.
Okay.
I had the movie mode.
Got it.
Got it.
So it's like a
and it's really quick.
double tap thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah, I think I was a double D. I was a double D, 40, 42 double D, which I should have been in a bigger bra.
Yeah.
I mean, period. I just should have. I just didn't want to accept the fact that I was gaining weight as quickly as I did. And now they say I'm a D, but I'm more comfortable in a C.
In a C.
Yeah.
So it's, I mean, I went and got a Walmart bra because I've never been able to fit in a Walmart bra ever.
Oh.
Okay.
And so I was like, holy shit. I mean, I ended up getting Torrid bras afterwards, but
yeah.
they're
just better quality.
They're just better.
Well, and I highly recommend anybody that's listening right now to get yourself measured.
Yeah.
Measure.
Makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Huge
and Torrid
difference.
does it for free. Don't go to Victoria's Secret because they don't do it right. Torrid does it right.
Right?
Yeah.
They don't do it right. Because she was like, yeah, you're a D. And I'm like, girl, are you looking at the same boobs that I like? No,
Torrid.
I'm not a D.
Because I worked at Torrid and Victoria's Secret wanted you to fit into their bras.
Right.
And so they don't measure it right.
Well,
and like Torrid's like, we're trained to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of funny because we did go to Victoria's Secret and got new bras, but the first lady was like telling me, I was like, what? She tried to put me in like a B.
Yeah.
And all these things. And I told the lady, and like the next girl came and I was like, this doesn't seem right. And she's all, oh, honey, you're not a B. She's like, let's go get you some stuff. And I was like, thank you.
She did great. She
The
did great.
second lady was so awesome. But that first one was just like, got me like a 36B.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this hurts. Like, this can't be right.
Yeah.
Like, this doesn't feel right.
You have to find the right people in there.
Yeah.
I need to find there's a bra place up in Portland that Kelly keeps telling us about.
My sister-in-law, she swears by it. She loves it. And she's like, actually, you're probably, she's like, she thinks I'm a C, but I'm like, probably a 36 or even lower. She's like, because the sizing just isn't right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to test that out.
Yeah.
And go up there and see what we can find bra-wise.
Yeah. Because it's important. And he was like, because I told him, like, I've lost a whole cup. And he was like, your boobs are still big. Like, they're still gigantic. I'm like, it's like losing an inch of your dick. Like, I'm like, you're going to look me in the face and tell me if you lost an inch that you'd be like,
it's fine. It's still a big dick.
Yeah, it's still a big dick.
Well, because when, like, I know as a bigger woman, like, I felt like that was more my identity. And I was like, it was my boobs. And that was the one, like, spot of my body I really liked and enjoyed. And so, like, having that one spot that I was like, for it to go away, I was like kind of devastated.
Yeah, that's how because like I said, I've always had big boobs, so that was like the first thing. I mean, that's what attracted him. Like, let's be honest. Like,
yes,
is he shaking? Yes. So like,
on that.
And I asked him, like, what are you gonna do if my boobs are small? And he's like, I love you now, so it doesn't matter.
He's like, I will still play with them and lick them and suck them, and it doesn't matter.
It doesn't. They're still
sorry
boobs.
to get so graphic, but like, they still will because like that's true. Because Eric was like, I don't care. He's like, are your boobs smaller? Absolutely. He's all, but do I like them any less? Not at all. We're still doing all the same thing, so why do I care? And I was like, fair point.
Yeah.
You know?
It's just trying to. I have something in my eyeball.
You do you, boo.
Not a penis.
It's not a penis.
A penis is not in her eye.
No.
So we're okay.
Not at all. Well, that's good
We're
to know.
still
So, like,
G-rated.
hair loss, we're doing good so far.
Yeah.
Sex life is great.
Yeah.
And you've lost a lot of weight. You're in new clothes.
Yep.
You're having some NSVs. So, I mean,
Yeah. It's just crazy.
sounds-
It's just crazy. The whole
Yeah.
thing is nuts. So
sounds like you're on a
Cool.
good track. It's just the mental is just going to, that's the driving one that's going to be hard.
that's the
I think
one.
that's-
Yeah. That's the one that's just because like I said, I had a very traumatic like childhood.
Mhm.
And so I think that I just stored a lot
Yeah.
away.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, obviously, like,
Well, you
And
don't want
so-
to think about it. Like
Right.
that's hurtful. It's not something that you're like you look back on with fond memories. Like
yeah. And so,
I completely get it. I kind of because I can't see my dogs. Like
Yeah.
it's the same thing. Like I just try to not think about it because it's easier than
To not.
trying to analyze that situation.
yeah. And so it's just a lot. But I'm working through it and I'm recognizing it. And I'm glad because I'm sure if I didn't recognize it, like James and I would definitely be in trouble because it has like, if you have a broken relationship
Mhm.
before you get into this, like
Mhm.
it's going to fail.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that. It's not because of the weight loss. It's because your relationship is broken. So I'm thankful that our relationship isn't and wasn't before because like he's asked me every day 5+ times, like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm fine. Like, I'm
Mhm.
just don't feel
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
anything. And so, but like I said, it's been a lot the last couple of months. So
Well, it really tests
Mhm.
your
It
relationship.
does.
And
100%.
it will definitely make or break you.
yeah, it
because
tests
so
every
much-
relationship.
Yep.
Mhm.
Like not just like my marriage, but like some of my friends.
Yeah.
And maybe it's probably just me and being in my own brain. But I've had friends that I've known for years and I've always been the big one.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
now I'm like not.
Not. And
That's
it feels
that's
real
not in your
weird.
head.
Yeah,
That's
no.
not in your head.
Yeah. And
Because
it's
we had that same dynamic. It was really weird. And I know
Mhm.
that we've kind of talked only a little bit about it, but like I was always a bigger friend
Mhm.
to Kelly.
Mhm.
And then I know it messed with her a little bit when I became
Mhm.
not that bigger friend anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I just didn't like I knew our friendship was solid no matter what.
Mhm.
But I was like, is she gonna like there's always that like weird, like, okay, well, but you're not you anymore, but you are you. It's
Yeah.
just a different you.
Yeah.
And you kind of have to get over that like weird hump that
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
And then once you realize, oh yeah, they're the same. It's
Yeah.
fine. But I
And-
know some people have a harder time with it.
Yeah. And it's like even with my like sister, like we're the same weight right now. We've never
Oh, really?
she's always been smaller than me. Always. Like
Wow.
even like I've always been and so it's just kind of weird to just
How is she doing with it? Because I know we kind of talked about it a little bit, but she finally saw you in person, right?
Yeah,
So-
she finally saw like she's always been super, super supportive. And I think that she was just scared and just like she'll always support me like with
Mhm.
whatever I do. And so we just had like some really good talks and like we've talked it through and you know, like she's like, well, what did you do to like do this? And I'm like, Stormy, I had surgery. Like I had to have a tool to like help me
Mhm.
lose the weight. Like it
Mhm.
wasn't a special crazy diet. I had to
Mhm.
get surgery.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of like I just told her I'm like I had to go through it as an addiction. Like I had to
Yep.
go through it like that way because that was the only way that was going to work for me.
Mhm.
Like if you go to addiction, like if you have a really bad addiction, you go to rehab, right?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so like the tool is rehab for me, and like now I'm in recovery.
Yep.
Mhm.
And so and I just like that's all, I like literally get sick if I eat too much. Like
Yeah.
that's like how
Yeah,
extreme
I
it is.
think it's hard for people that haven't gone through this or haven't had like seen the posts and all the things.
Yeah.
You know, it's really hard for them to understand what we went through,
Yeah.
and it's really hard to understand the mental aspect of it, and it's
Mhm.
really like the whole journey is just foreign to them.
Yeah.
And I think my family's definitely gone through that. They don't know to talk. Do they talk about it? Do they ignore that it's
Yeah.
there? Like we know she lost some weight, but
Yeah.
I don't understand what's going on.
Right.
It's been really hard to like because I've always gotten compliments like how pretty I am and like my style, my makeup.
Yeah.
And like since I've lost this much weight, not one person has complimented me on like my looks, like my like beauty,
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
my clothes or my makeup. It's all about my body. And I'm like,
Oh,
I'm like,
messes with you a little bit.
it fucks with me because
Yep.
I'm like, don't like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, and I've had like my friends' husbands being like, dang, Hailey, you look so good. I'm like, don't fucking talk to me.
Yeah.
Like, don't, and,
Yeah.
and you know what I mean? And they're not being like, oh,
They're
Hailey,
creepy or-
they're,
yeah.
and I'm like, don't like, I don't want your wife to feel insecure. Like,
Mhm.
cause you know, like I don't ever want to be the reason why another person feels insecure.
Right,
Like
correct,
at
right.
all.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, And so I'm just very like, I've had weird compliments like, wow, your jaw looks so good. And I'm like, what?
You're like, I never thought I'd hear that.
And it's just weird shit. Like, it's weird. And so I try, and like, I think that with like eating and stuff too in front of people makes me, because I chew forever.
Yeah.
Forever. And I think when I've eaten too fast, it's because I get self-conscious about
everyone looking at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I need to just tell everyone to fuck off. Like, this is how it is. And no one cares. It's me. It's
That's
me.
really is. Nobody is watching you eat.
Nobody is.
You know, it's weird, but people don't watch you while you eat.
As a fat girl though, like people would watch fat people eat.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because they're like, but like as a skinny, like not as a skinny, but like skinnier, like people don't pay attention as much. But I'm still in my brain, I'm like, oh well, I'm just a fat girl that's eating really slow and chewing forever.
Like, yeah, but nobody's counting your chews.
Yeah.
So I think you're okay.
Yeah. It's just the mental part. Like I really feel like that you should get into therapy before you get this, because it really is intense, and like your mental health is it's gonna get hit. Like you can be the most stable mental person and you go through this and you're fucked. Like,
well, and just to put it out there, nobody is 100% level with their mental health. Everybody needs to talk to somebody. That's why you have girls' nights. That's why you have date nights, is so that you can talk out what's going on with you. And if you're not talking to somebody, you should be. Yeah, because it's very, very, very important that you discuss the things that are
Did you hear
going.
that gurgle? Sorry.
I heard the gurgle.
I do it all the time. I do it. It
like,
happens all the time.
Don't catch that on camera.
Yeah. Oh, no. It picks it up.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah. No.
And it's good
one
though.
Of our episodes, it actually happened.
For
I had
you,
the
yeah.
gurgle.
Because even I was like, whoa, what is that,
I was
girlfriend?
like, that's my gurgle.
Yeah.
It should get its own mic.
I was eating or drinking or something, and my boss was behind me, like the computers, like, and I was like typing, and I was like gurgling really bad. I'm like, I'm sorry that I'm gurgling. He's like, I don't give a shit what your body does as long as you're not farting in here. And he's like, if you are, like, that's fine too, but like,
just be silent.
Just
keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Keep it to yourself.
Yeah, I'll be laying there and my stomach will just like,
yeah, it's
and
weird.
I'm just like, oh my God, this is so weird and not sexy in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. But what was another thing I was gonna say? Oh, and then I've been going to these support groups too that the Salem Hospital offers now for after surgery.
Good.
Are they open to anybody? Or
it's via Zoom. I want to say it's the first Wednesday. I want to say it's the
we'll
the first.
To have
Wednesday.
you send us a link.
Yeah, it's really good, and like the first class, I'm like, hey, and to start crying, like because I'm just like, because it was, I think it was like I'm like getting emotional thinking about it. I think it was like the first month, and I'm like, I feel so alone. Like I feel so like crazy, and like I don't understand. And that's when they told me, they're like, girl, no one told you that you store hormones in your fat. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, and so I was an emotional mess, like just crying over, and like everyone was like, it was very, very good. And then they offered, they asked me to speak at this support group for people before they go into surgery and like just kind of like talk to them and stuff. Yeah. But I've like blasted your guys' show on like the support groups and stuff.
Thank you.
So it'd be really cool if you guys can go to it, like just as, because, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we've done a couple support groups.
Yeah, actually. We did my office. We spoke. We were like the keynote speaker.
I guess.
I don't know. There was nobody after us, but I'm going to say we're a keynote.
Yeah, we were the main
we
people.
were the main speaker, and we just talked about our journeys and like how we got to running a podcast and giving support to people, because it's important that you have some people, a group of people, even if you've never even met them in person, to bounce ideas off of, or if you're having a hard day, you can talk about it and they understand where you're coming from.
With no judgment. That's why I feel like it is an addiction, because that is like going to like those like meetings, the NA meetings, the AA meetings. Like it's the same thing for us.
Like having a sponsor.
Yeah.
Like
we feel like sponsors.
We call ourselves sponsors.
Yeah. And it's true, because like this food is an addiction. Like when I was the liquid diet, when I came here last, like I was going through withdrawals.
Yeah.
Like that was, and I've gone through withdrawals, and I'm like, that was the same feeling like as that. And I'm like, that was intense. Like, so, and food is just I just love it so much. Like, and it's not just the food, it's just what it brings and stuff. But like, Thanksgiving was still fun as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And I wasn't eating the whole time and wasn't,
Mhm.
you know, like I had a fun Thanksgiving and I was worried about that because like, how am I going to have fun if I can't eat? And it's like, bitch, like, what do you mean?
You're still
guess what?
getting to spend time with your
Yeah.
family and your friends.
Yeah.
Like the food doesn't, the lack of food that you eat, or if you're cutting out sugar or whatever,
Mhm.
doesn't negate the fact that you're having family over.
Right.
Like
And-
you still get to talk and have conversations.
Yeah. And my family is super, super supportive. So they weren't like
Nice.
questioning, like, why do you eat so little? Like my kids
Mhm.
too, like they all know, like
Yep.
they're all good with it. I have little baby plates and like, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, and life is fun regardless of food being in it or not.
Right.
And so
Correct.
I think that's what we've learned through this process. Like you can still have fun. Like food was not the main source of the fun.
Yeah.
It's actually the people that you're around and the
Mhm.
games that you're playing and the
Mhm.
things that you're actually doing.
Yeah.
And I noticed for me, I could be more in the moment because I wasn't focused on like, what am I going to eat? When do I get to eat? How
Yeah.
much can I eat? Oh, I can only eat this amount of food in front of this person.
Yeah.
So like when they leave, I can maybe have more. Like it was so focused. And now it's so relieved that I can just do whatever and
Yeah.
talk and have fun. So
It's been really nice. And like I have such great support and like all that.
Okay.
all right. Well, we're gonna wrap this bad boy
yeah.
up.
And the next
Good.
time we see you, 6 months.
Yes, it'll be
Yes.
6 months.
Holy cow.
This is gonna be great. I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait to get an update on your therapy.
Yes, I'm
And-
excited too.
Yeah. Now, I do have one question about the therapist. Is it a bariatric therapist or is it just a run-of-the-mill therapist?
So my friend that actually got this surgery, she recommended this therapist.
Okay.
Perfect.
So
Okay.
yeah, and she's over a year out. So
All right. Well, we're gonna
Nice.
figure that out when you come back because
Yes.
that will be
Yay.
fun.
I did forget one, sorry, I don't know, but one non-scale victory. So they measure us before, like our
Uh-huh.
first one, and I just got measured and I've lost 61 inches all the way around.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
like
Good
15
job.
like 15 inches in
That's
my
like
waist.
your height.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's like
Holy cow.
Yeah,
that's
All right.
amazing.
Yeah. So
Well,
make sure you guys do those measurements.
and
Like
celebrate that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Celebrate that because that's huge.
Yeah.
That
Like,
is
that's
a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, my doctor was like, "Holy shit, you've lost 15 inches in your waist." She's like, "That like never happens."
All righty.
All right. Well, thank you all for
Yes.
being in the studio to both of you. And we are so excited.
We really appreciate you guys being here.
Yes.
And if you guys want to watch the episode, you know where to go. It's going to be patreon.com/OSLP. Pick your tier. You'll get this first, or you can hop over to YouTube and get it there 10 days later.
Don't forget to subscribe and
and
ring that little bell.
Ring that bell, damn it. And yeah, hang out with us for next time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank
All
you so
right.
much. And we will see you
Next time. Bye.